Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
You too. How's everyone doing? Jags to Riches, James Peters, thank you all so much for your time. Ah, breaking news, a very unfortunate developing story, as I know you all are aware. It seemed like it started to break last night, a developing scandal around the Boston Celtics and one Ime Udoka, the head coach of the Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics. Now, as you've seen, I actually had it at the beginning of the actual the video here, where it is stating that he's facing a potential suspension or some sort of disciplinary actions based around the fact that he had a consensual relationship with a member of the franchise's staff. And I mean, look, it's no secret, again, at the opening clip, he has been in a long relationship with Nia Long. I mean, years. They have, I believe, children, multiple children together. And again, I mean, I'm going to put it like this. I'm not going to judge him. It's like, because it's Nia Long, like, I just know that makes it even worse. But look, I live by a very simple rule. You can sleep with or do whatever you want with anyone, as long as it's not me or my girl, essentially, right? Me and my partner. Otherwise, dog, you're free to do whatever you want in this world. So, meaning that I don't give a shit about Ime Udoka's personal life or who he's sleeping with or who he's seeing with. I care about how he coaches the team that I love. It's that simple. And I'll also point out the fact, guys, that this is a former NBA player. Oh, before we even get into that, they're not married, so you can't even use that angle on them. But this is a former NBA player and a Hollywood actress. It's Nia Long. We do not know what kind of arrangement or things they have set in place. They may have boundaries that you or I do not understand, but to each their own. I am pretty sure that there is a rule in place, like, as long as you don't embarrass me or get it out in public like this is right now. But the only, there is that angle that he is the head coach, right up there as one of the most important members of this franchise. So good chance that whoever he is having a relationship with is going to be under him. So you do have to look at it from that perspective. But look, guys, again, the part that I really care about is that he's facing a suspension. And obviously the news hasn't broke. I don't know how long of a suspension. I don't give a shit if it's a game, a month, a season, whatever it is. This is just another negative notch on our damn belt right now. And we are on a roll. Like, for a second, like, I just took a step back, and I'm now realizing that we came out into the offseason after an NBA Finals run, a Game 6 loss to a dynasty in the Golden State Warriors, 2-1 lead, a lead in Game 4 that we've talked about all this, right? And we have the receipts in those off-season videos. I simply was saying, I want them to add like a Pat Connaughton, a Patty Mills, just to simply beef up the bench, bringing some scoring, some shooting. That's all we really thought they needed. They go and get Malcolm Brogdon and Gallinari. Like, you talk about hitting that shit out of the park. They didn't have to do anything else, and they had won the offseason. I mean, they're right up there with Utah. I thought they were brilliant with what their rebuild was and the direction they're going. And then Cleveland, obviously getting Sexton. I'm sending out Sexton and getting back Mitchell. I mean, but now, ever since then, let's talk about the rest of this offseason. Seriously. You had the KD saga that literally took up pretty much this entire offseason, and we were right in the middle of that bullshit. The Jaylen Brown, the shaking my head, that was all. There was nothing good to gain or positive for the Boston Celtics in that. That was all bullshit and drama and rumors. We then finally get out of that and lose Gallinari, half of the big offseason acquisitions that we got. A guy that is that perfect, 6'10" forward that can shoot at a damn 40% clip and can get you, 13 points off the bench, averaging 25 minutes. He was perfect to what we needed. Again, him and Brogdon answered so many questions that we were left with after the finals. So losing him, that sucks, right? We then follow that up with Robert Williams. Now he's having a procedure. He's going to miss the next 4 to 6 weeks, including obviously the start of the season. All right, shit. Obviously, injuries are part of it, guys. Like, these are multi-million-dollar athletes and billion-dollar organizations. They're doing everything they can to preserve their body, of course. That's how they make their money. But unfortunately, injuries are a part of it. And we kind of got hit with the bug when it comes to our front court. So concerns there. But again, people go through it. The Bulls are dealing with Lonzo Ball injured. I mean, it's part of it, right? Now you're talking about losing your head coach to a suspension. You are bringing in all these new acquisitions like Malcolm Brogdon. He's a vet. He's fine. But after you get through our main core and rotation, there's a lot of question marks at the bottom there. And we had some camp battles we talked about, training camp, the importance of, who kind of emerges. You might not even have your damn head coach around. And then another very important thing to consider is that we just lost his right-hand man, Will Hardy, to the Utah Jazz. That guy's a stud. He was with Ime in San Antonio. He was his right-hand man on the finals run. That's who you would want to be able to step right up if Ime was to miss some time, especially if it's significant and he's not available. This is what I give a shit about, right? I give a shit about the fact that we just came off of an NBA Finals run. We're gearing up to go on another run this year. Brad Stevens did a phenomenal job, checking the boxes of some of the things we were missing and bringing in some excellent pieces for us. And we didn't have to do shit else. But again, injuries happen. We get it. But now this Ime, we do not need this type of negative spotlight on us. And more importantly, dude, this is a guy that's a potential coach of the year candidate this year. I really thought he was like, this is just disappointing. I'm not looking at it because, obviously it's an L because you have Nia Long, bro. But again, I don't know what they have going on. So I'm not going to judge him on that. I am going to judge him on the fact that he was sloppy enough to get caught and for it to be everywhere now, bro. Come on, you got to tighten up. And the fact that you are now going to negatively affect your team. We need you, bro. Like, he is an extremely important part of motivating these young men. And actually, they love him. You know that. One other thing, though, is if last year taught us anything, it is that you can shit the bed in the first half of the season. It can be a disaster, and it seemed like you're a 10th seed and under 500 and all hope is lost. And then late January, it can click and just in time to go on a finals run. My point is, never count any team out, especially the Boston Celtics. We'll have to wait and see, guys, how long of a suspension this is, what exactly happens. I'm sure there's going to be several other developing stories. I'm not going to get too much into this. I'm just, until we figure out how long we're going to be without our head coach, because honestly, that's the only thing I give a shit about. Thank you all so much for your time. Jags to Riches, James Peters. I hope you all have an excellent conclusion to your day, getting close to the weekend. I hope you have an excellent weekend. Take care, guys.